Should you lease or finance a vehicle? Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about financing and leasing a vehicle. Now, if you don't know, I work for BMW. That's BMW of Peoria. In case you're looking for a vehicle, let me know. And a lot of people don't know whether they should finance or lease a car. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about some pros and cons of both. And just depending on who you are and what you do, what makes sense. Now, you can use this analogy with any other car brand. It doesn't necessarily have to be BMW. All right. So, for example, we're going to start with financing. Okay. Because I think majority of people finance their vehicles, and that's just the majority of what people do. So when it comes to financing, typically you're going to get a loan for the set amount of the vehicle, whatever price you agree on, and you will take that amount and you will split that up and pay interest over the course of, it can range from 24 months to, I've seen 82 months or 84 months, something like that. But yeah, so you can finance a vehicle for that long, depending on your credit and everything like that. Now, some of the pros of doing that is, depending on how fast you pay the vehicle off, you actually own the vehicle. You have unlimited miles, so meaning you can drive it however long for whenever and wherever you want to go. And, there is a lot of wear and tear as well. So that's going to get into the cons. All right. So cons, you're probably going to have more wear and tear just because you're driving it as much as possible. Because it's your everyday driver. You might take it on road trips, etc. So with that being said, financing could work out, which that's what most people do anyway. Most people do financing because that's what makes the most sense. All right. Now, as of in, like I said, cons for financing, you're going to add more wear and tear to the vehicle. So, that's something you want to just keep in mind. You're also going to potentially have just things you'll have to replace during that time because, most people don't get a brand new car financed. Even if you do, once the warranty's up, there are things that could go wrong that you would have to fix. Okay. So, that's an option. You can definitely do that. I shouldn't say most people don't finance a new car because they do still finance a new car. But I'm just saying most people, from what I've seen, finance used vehicles. All right. So that's the financing side of things. I'm pretty sure we're all pretty familiar with financing a car. Now, leasing a car. And to me, I didn't know much about this until I started working at the dealership. So it took me, like I said, working here to understand what leasing is. All right. Now, leasing, from what I understand, can only be done on a brand new vehicle. All right. So that's kind of why I'm showing you guys all the new vehicles, because, this is where leasing will come in at. So for leasing, it's usually a shorter term, typically 3 years, and it's based on the amount of miles you feel like you're going to drive per year. So, for example, 10,000 is usually the lowest. There's a 10, there's a 12, there's a 15, and I've seen 18. And you can somewhat do custom packages. Like I know we've quoted someone on the 20,000, we've quoted somebody on the 25,000. So it just depends. Most dealers, if I'm correct, should be able to do a custom yearly mileage for you if that's something you want to do. All right. So that being said, it's based on your miles. If you go over your miles, you do pay a charge for going over on miles. So that is a con, but we're sticking to pros right now. So, the good thing about it is you're going to have a brand new car that's still under warranty for the time that you have the car. So if anything goes wrong, you're covered. You don't have to worry about that. And then once your term is up, so let's say 3 years, and, the car is still in good condition, you don't have any damages or anything like that when it's time to turn the vehicle in, you can turn the vehicle in and get a brand new car and start over and do it like that. Or you can pay a certain price, which is typically shown to you in the beginning when you're leasing the car. You can pay that price and own the vehicle out. All right. So that's a strategy that I do like personally. And it all depends on the car that you're buying and obviously the brand that you're buying, right? Some brands are going to depreciate once you get to that 3 year mark. and the warranty has expired, depending on what the warranty is. I know BMW is 4-year, 50,000. So you still would have some warranty left within the miles that you have. But typically, warranty, you're getting close to your warranty ending. So, anything after that, if you do decide to purchase the vehicle, will be on you to fix. But most of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time, but a lot of times you can see that uh, paying off or whatever it is to purchase the vehicle is usually a better price than what it would be if you financed it. So meaning if you calculate everything you've paid for the time being, those 3 years of you paying on your lease, and add up the cost of what it costs you to purchase the vehicle at the end of the lease, you're going to come out paying less by doing that. Okay. So that's one thing I would highly suggest. That's what I personally like about the lease, is that it gives you an option to either say, hey, I'll get a brand new car and just continue leasing, which does suck because you are still making payments on the vehicle. All right. But you also get the opportunity to have good equity in your car and be able to potentially buy it out and resell it for a higher cost. Okay, so that's the one thing you want to pay attention to, is what is the equity? How much more money is your car worth, right? So if you're in, let's say at the end of your lease, they say, hey, you can buy this car back for 25K, right? And then you see that your car on the aftermarket is worth 35K, then to me, that is worth it. That's something you probably want to consider, because I mean, if you're going to make an extra 10,000 by you purchasing the car, that might be worth it for you to just buy it. All right. So those are some of the things that I wanted to point out to you guys. I know a lot of people don't know about the lease and stuff like that. There are a couple other things about leasing. Is some companies don't allow buyouts. So if you wanted another company to buy out your lease, that's not something you can do. And you want to check with the company that you are purchasing your vehicle through. But that is something that some companies don't allow. I know Volvo, they don't allow other brands to buy out the lease, meaning you have to purchase the rest of your lease and then either trade the car in and then go from there. Okay. So those are some things. I would also say, if you're thinking about leasing a car, definitely do it with the brand that you like, that you enjoy. So if you enjoy BMW, and you want to lease a car, and you feel like you've always had BMWs, you're going to stay with BMW at least for the time being, then I highly suggest just leasing the BMW, and just continuing to get a new BMW every 3 years. That way you can keep up to date with the technology, the body style, and everything like that. All right. But that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Did I answer some questions for you guys? Did this help you out? Are you going to lease? Are you going to continue to finance? Or are you just going to buy your cars outright? Some people have the money for that, but most people don't. So that's why I'm talking to you guys. You want to do what makes sense for you financially. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I just want to give you guys some game and teach my people that don't really know about financing and leasing a car. Because for the longest time, I knew nothing about leasing a car. All right. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Keeping this video pretty short. Just wanted to make that for you guys, and give you guys that game. All right. This color is so beautiful. That's why I keep stopping here. But if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're going to be leasing or financing your next vehicle. And if you do, what vehicle are you going to go with? That's all I have for you guys today. Scoofy here. Subscribe to the channel. Invite your friends and family. Don't forget, once we reach 10,000 subscribers, I will be giving away $200. All right. Scoofy here, and I'm out.